Let me talk for a second about Trump and Ukraine. It's being said that Trump is making a huge U-turn right now in Ukraine. He is talking about now. He's this week he came out and said that he thinks Ukraine can take back all of its territory and go back to the original pre-war borders. That's what which is a total reversal of everything he said when he told Zelensky, for example, you don't have the cards. But then he said Ukraine can take back all of its territory with European support, so not with ours. And but he said we're happy to keep selling the weapons. So what he's basically doing is he's trying to encourage Ukrainians to keep fighting so he can sell them U.S. weapons, which without paying for it himself.
Yeah.
So what's being taken as a big U-turn is really just him seeing a market opportunity to make more money for U.S. weapons makers. But it just shows that his rhetoric on this war is totally all over the place because, in their White House meltdown, he told Zelensky, you don't have the cards. And now he's saying, yeah, no, go ahead. Like, go. I think you can take back all your territory. And he called Russia. He said Russia might be a paper tiger. So he's like,
doesn't sound like Trump's language, does it?
Well, it's,
so this is the Truth Social post, right?
The Truth Social, but also in his meeting with Zelensky and with Macron, he said similar things.
Okay, well, I've been hearing rumors that Sebastian Gorka has access to Trump's Truth Social account and that he was responsible for that language.
Well, Trump personally too said also Russia might be a paper tiger. I just think Trump is personally seeing an opportunity here to make more money for U.S. weapons makers, and he's encouraging Ukraine to keep fighting so he can make more money off of it. But the really ominous thing to me is this. Putin this week offered a 1-year extension of New START, which is the last remaining nuclear arms control treaty between the U.S. and Russia. It caps the number of nuclear warheads at around 1,500 each. And if it expires, which it's supposed to in February, that means there will be no more arms control limiting the arsenals of the U.S. and Russia, the top nuclear powers. So Putin this week said, we need to avoid a new arms race. Let's do a 1-year extension, which under New START is the most they can do because it's incentivized to have a brand new treaty. So Trump hasn't responded yet. And Trump almost killed the last time, Trump almost killed New START in his first term. In his last day in office, he could have renegotiated and extended it, but he didn't. It was Biden who saved it at the very last minute. So what my concern is, for all the talk Trump has put out there about diplomacy with Russia, that he's going to let New START expire. And come next year, we're not going to have any nuclear arms control between the world's top 2 nuclear powers. And no one's really talking about this. Like to me, this is like a far bigger danger than even the dynamics of the Ukraine battlefield. Because we're talking about an ongoing war in which the U.S. and Russia are on opposing sides. And Trump is flirting with not having any more, starting next year, a pact limiting nuclear weapons of the U.S. and Russia.
And you see Ukrainian influencers being interviewed, trying to recruit foreign fighters. They're running out, acknowledging they're running out of men. We don't have the production capacity to throw up these clips that I would like to have done, sort of an impromptu stream. But this is the message coming out of Kiev. There's money coming, the money's flowing back in, the weapons are flowing back in. There aren't men. And as long as Trump keeps this up, I think the Russian military could be on the road to Odessa by the end of next year. I mean, there's no other direction that I can see this going unless they freeze the conflict. Now, the reason that there are figures in the Trump administration like Elbridge Colby and the Vance faction that wanted to freeze the conflict around Zaporozhye and Kherson is so that they could rearm the United States to prepare for a conflict with China. This is delaying the conflict that they want with China, which is really the big prize. And that faction of the Trump administration is also frustrated by Israel, which compelled the U.S. by controlling Trump to expend 1/3 of its THAAD missile, air defense missile stockpiles, which means no missiles for Taiwan, no weapons for the Pacific Rim vassals of U.S. empire that are going to be the front line in the coming war with China. So they're just stuck there, and Trump keeps oscillating between the Vance faction and then back to the Lindsey Graham faction. And it really doesn't it feel like Lindsey Graham's really sitting in the catbird seat right now? I mean, he's all over the place.
100%. He's totally, he got Trump to put on new tariffs on India, which was strategically disastrous, I think, for the U.S. because they've been trying to get India even more in their orbit, as opposed to being close with China. But he got Trump to do that because India still trades with Russia. Doesn't even support Russia militarily, but just trading with Russia can get you sanctioned by the U.S. because Russia is a designated bad guy. So yeah, Lindsey Graham is totally ascendant right now, and he's very happy. I mean, he was the guy who bragged about, as long as we keep this going, Ukraine will fight to the last person, and that's what he's seeing through.